Listen to me carefully. There comes a moment in life when you can no longer afford to live distracted, when you can no longer afford to waste your time, your energy, and your destiny on things that don't grow you. It's time to focus, it's time to rise, and it's time to value yourself. Too many of us give our power away. Too many of us live small when we were built for more. You were not created to be average. You were not designed to live in doubt. You were given life so you could stand tall, break limits, and walk in strength. And the moment you start valuing yourself, the world will start respecting you. Because if you don't respect your own value, nobody else will. Today is the day you sharpen your focus. Today is the day you remind yourself that you are worthy of greatness. Distractions are the silent killers of dreams. They don't come with alarms. They don't come with warning signs. They slip into your life quietly and slowly drain the greatness out of you. Think about it. Every time you sit down to work on something important, there's a notification on your phone, a message from someone who doesn't add value to your life, or a thought that pulls you away from your focus. And before you know it, the day is gone, the energy is gone, and the opportunity is gone. Distractions are not just small interruptions, they are destiny thieves. Imagine a person trying to fill a bucket of water. Every time they pour, a hole at the bottom lets it leak out. No matter how much they fill, it never stays full. That's what distractions do to your life. You keep pouring effort, time, and passion. But because you haven't closed the holes of distraction, you never feel complete, you never feel fulfilled, and you never see results. The bucket stays empty because you love enough, because you didn't work, but because you didn't protect what you worked for. We live in a world that glorifies multitasking, but the truth is, divided focus creates divided results. You can't build an empire with half your attention. You can't rise to your best self when your mind is scattered in 10 different directions. If you're serious about success, if you're serious about peace, if you're serious about building a life that reflects your true potential, then you must make the bold decision to cut off distractions. Let me bring this closer to real life. Think about a student preparing for an exam. If they spend 1 hour truly focused, with no phone, no background noise, no interruptions, they learn more in that 1 hour than in 5 hours of distracted studying. Now, take that principle and apply it to your whole life. What if you lived with laser focus? What if you removed the noise, silenced the unnecessary, and dedicated yourself to what truly mattered? You would accelerate faster than you could imagine. Sometimes distractions don't look like problems. Sometimes they come dressed as entertainment, as temporary fun, as comfort. Scrolling endlessly on social media, watching people live their lives instead of creating your own. Spending hours talking about people who don't affect your future instead of investing those hours in your own growth. Distractions are not always evil. Sometimes they are simply time wasters that trick you into believing you are resting, but in reality, you are losing momentum. Here's the reality: every great achiever you admire, every successful person who has built something meaningful, they all mastered one thing: protecting their focus. They understood that what you feed grows and what you starve dies. If you keep feeding your distractions, they will grow stronger and control you. But if you starve them, if you cut them off, your focus will grow, your discipline will grow, and your success will grow. Think of an athlete preparing for a championship. They don't just train their body, they train their mind. They cut out late nights. They avoid unnecessary temptations, and they structure their life around their goal. Why? Because they know the smallest distraction can cost them the biggest victory. The same applies to your life. You may not be preparing for a race, but you are preparing for your future, for your family, for your dreams. You cannot afford to lose that race because you couldn't manage your focus. Eliminating distractions requires courage. It means saying no to people who don't respect your time. It means creating boundaries that protect your mental energy. It means being honest with yourself and asking, is this thing, this person, or this habit helping me grow or holding me back? The answer will always show you where to cut. Some people won't understand why you're distancing yourself. They'll say you've changed. And you know what? That's the point. Growth demands change. Focus demands sacrifice. When you cut off distractions, something powerful happens. You gain clarity. You start to see your life with sharper eyes. You notice opportunities you missed before. You hear your own thoughts louder than the noise around you. You begin to realize that half the stress you carried wasn't real pressure. It was just clutter from things that didn't matter. Clarity is one of the greatest gifts focus gives you, and clarity only comes when you create silence around your goals. Every day you wake up, you are faced with a choice. Do you give your time to what matters, or do you give it away to distractions? Time is the most valuable currency you have. And once it's gone, it never comes back. Money can be replaced, but time cannot. Ask yourself honestly, how much time have you lost to things that gave you nothing in return? How many hours, days, or even years have you spent on things that left you empty? And more importantly, are you willing to keep living that way? The moment you decide to eliminate distractions, you step into power. You stop being controlled by the outside world, and you start controlling your inner world. You stop being a passenger in your own life, and you take the driver's seat. You stop living on accident, and you start living on purpose. That's the shift that separates people who dream from people who achieve. So today, make a choice. Shut the door on distractions. Guard your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Value your time, value your mind, value your energy. Because when you eliminate distractions, you don't just free your schedule, you free your future. Knowing your worth is not about arrogance, and it's not about pride. It's about finally understanding that you are not cheap, you are not ordinary, you are not replaceable, you are valuable, and until you see that value in yourself, the world will never see it either. Too many people are waiting for others to validate them, waiting for others to clap for them, waiting for others to give them permission to shine. But the truth is, you set the price tag of your life. You determine what you will tolerate and what you won't. You decide how people treat you by how you treat yourself. Think about it this way. When you walk into a store, the way you approach an item depends on the price tag it carries. If it's cheap, you don't handle it with care. But when it's expensive, when it's rare, when it's valuable, you approach it differently. You protect it, you respect it. The same thing applies to your life. If you label yourself cheap by accepting less than you deserve, by allowing disrespect, by ignoring your own potential, people will treat you as cheap. But if you raise your standards, if you carry yourself like someone of value, suddenly the world has no choice but to recognize it. Every time you say yes to things that insult your value, you are discounting yourself. Every time you let people walk over you, you are reducing your worth in your own eyes. And here's the truth: people don't determine your value, you do. When you start respecting yourself, when you demand excellence from yourself, when you stop tolerating nonsense, others will follow. Self-respect is contagious. Confidence is magnetic. Let me give you a real life example. Imagine two employees in the same company. One always doubts themselves, always downplays their abilities, always says yes to extra work without boundaries, and accepts being overlooked. The other knows their skill, speaks with confidence, sets boundaries respectfully, and doesn't allow themselves to be undervalued. Over time, who do you think will be promoted? Who do you think will be recognized? Not the one who worked the hardest, but the one who valued themselves enough to show their worth. Because people don't just pay for effort, they pay for perceived value. Sometimes the hardest part of knowing your worth is walking away from places, people, and situations that don't honor it. But you cannot expect to grow in soil that doesn't respect your roots. You cannot expect to rise if you stay in rooms where you are tolerated instead of celebrated. Walking away is not weakness. It's proof that you finally recognize your worth. If you don't leave what dishonors you, you are teaching the world that you accept it. Knowing your worth is also about the way you talk to yourself. Too often, the loudest voice tearing us down is our own. You can't call yourself weak and expect to live strong. You can't call yourself stupid and expect to create brilliance. The words you speak over yourself set the tone of your life. You must speak to yourself like you are valuable. Tell yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I am enough. Because if you don't believe it, no one else will. Think about gold. If gold could talk, it would never say, I'm worthless. Gold knows its worth, even when it's covered in dirt. Even when people overlook it, its value never decreases. You are the same. Life may have covered you with difficulties. People may have overlooked you, but your value has not dropped. You are still rare, still powerful, still capable. You just need to clean off the dirt of doubt and recognize the treasure within. Here's the danger. When you don't know your worth, you'll settle for anything. You'll stay in toxic relationships because you think you don't deserve better. You'll stay in jobs that drain you because you don't believe you can do more. You'll accept friendships that break you because you think that's all you're worth. But when you know your worth, you stop settling. You stop begging for attention. You stop chasing people who don't see your value. Instead, you attract people and opportunities that match your level. Knowing your worth doesn't mean life will suddenly get easy, but it does mean you will stop wasting energy on things beneath you. It means you will stop apologizing for being yourself. It means you will stop shrinking to make others comfortable. It means you will stand tall in your identity, confident in your purpose, and strong in your value. And that shift changes everything. Think of a lion. A lion doesn't walk into the jungle and beg other animals to respect it. A lion doesn't have to prove it is the king. It just carries itself like one. That's what knowing your worth looks like. It's not about proving yourself to everyone. It's about walking with the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are. So ask yourself today, are you living at your true value, or are you living on discount? Are you honoring yourself with the way you think, the way you act, and the way you let others treat you? Or are you cheapening yourself just to be accepted? You cannot expect premium results while living a discounted life. From this moment forward, raise your standards. Respect yourself first. Set boundaries without guilt. Speak to yourself with power. Carry yourself like someone of worth. Because when you know your worth, you don't just change how the world sees you, you change how you see yourself. And that is the beginning of every transformation. Energy is the currency of life. Every morning when you wake up, you are given a certain amount of it. Some spend it wisely, investing it in things that give a return. Growth, peace, and progress. Others waste it on things that steal from them, arguments, negativity, and self-doubt. At the end of the day, the difference between a fulfilled person and a drained one is not how many hours they had, it's how they spent their energy. If you want to live strong, focused, and successful, you must protect your energy like it is your greatest treasure, because it is. Think about a mobile phone. No matter how advanced the phone is, no matter how many apps it has, no matter how beautiful the screen looks, if the battery dies, it becomes useless. Your energy is your battery. You can have dreams, you can have talents, you can have plans, but if your energy is drained, you cannot function. And just like you protect your phone's battery by charging it, by closing unnecessary apps, and by avoiding overuse, you must do the same with yourself. The problem is, many people give their energy away without realizing it. They argue with people who will never change. They explain themselves to those who don't want to understand. They fight battles that don't matter. And at the end of the day, they are exhausted, not because life was heavy, but because they wasted their strength on things that didn't deserve it. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you have won 100 coins every day, and each coin represents a piece of your energy. When you wake up, you spend 10 coins getting ready. You spend 20 coins at work. You spend 30 coins working on your goals. That still leaves you with coins for your family, your rest, and your peace. But what happens when you waste 40 coins on gossip, or 30 coins on social media arguments, or 20 coins stressing about something you can't control? By the time you get to what truly matters, you are broke. Not broke in money, but broke in energy. And a person with no energy is a person with no power. Protecting your energy means being selective about where you invest it. Not every battle deserves your response. Every invitation deserves your yes. Not every situation deserves your attention. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply not engage. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. Ignoring nonsense is not cowardice, it is wisdom. Walking away from negativity is not losing, it is choosing peace over poison. Look at your daily life. How many times do you find yourself angry over things that don't matter a week later? How often do you replay negative conversations in your mind? draining yourself over words that should have been forgotten. Protecting your energy means refusing to be controlled by temporary noise. Your peace is too expensive to be given away cheaply. Let's take an example of someone training for a marathon. If they allow themselves to eat junk every day, stay up all night, and run only when they feel like it, their energy will collapse on race day. But if they guard their sleep, eat well, and train with focus, their energy will carry them across the finish line. Life works the same way. If you allow toxic habits, toxic people, and toxic thoughts into your mind daily, your energy will collapse when you need it most. But if you feed your mind with positivity, surround yourself with uplifting people, and focus on your growth, your energy will carry you to your destiny. Protecting your energy also means protecting your environment. The people you surround yourself with are either charging you or draining you. Some people are like sunshine. They make you feel alive, motivated, and stronger. Others are like storms. They drain you, confuse you, and leave you empty. Be honest with yourself. Who in your circle adds to you and who takes away from you? If someone constantly drains your energy, you don't hate them. You simply protect your space, because your future cannot afford constant leaks. Another daily example: when you're driving a car, you don't waste fuel by keeping the engine running when you're parked. You turn it off. But how many times do we keep our mental engine running, stressing about things we cannot change? We replay mistakes. We overthink conversations. We stress about tomorrow while draining today. Protecting your energy means learning when to switch off, when to rest, and when to let go. You cannot run on empty and expect to finish strong. Your energy is also connected to your focus. Whatever you give energy to grows. If you spend all your energy complaining, your problems grow larger. If you spend all your energy doubting yourself, your fears grow stronger. But if you spend your energy on solutions, on gratitude, on building, your life becomes richer. It's not about how much energy you have. It's about where you put it. The truth is, you only get one life, one body, one mind. Protecting your energy is protecting your future. When you are drained, you cannot think clearly. When you are drained, you make poor decisions. When you are drained, you lose passion for the things you once loved. But when you protect your energy, you feel alive again. You start each day with strength. You move with clarity. You rise with power. So ask yourself who or what has been draining your energy, and are they worth your future? Because every drop of energy wasted on what doesn't matter is a drop taken from what does. From this day forward, choose wisely. Guard your peace. Say no without guilt. Walk away from negativity. Charge yourself daily with positivity. Because when you protect your energy, you protect your life. Consistency builds value. Let me say it again, consistency builds value. Talent will get you noticed, but consistency will keep you respected. Energy and excitement can start something, but consistency is what finishes it. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can show up once. Anyone can post one idea, one video, or one effort. But the person who rises, the person who wins, the person who truly stands out is the one who shows up again and again, even when no one is watching, even when it's not easy, even when it doesn't feel exciting anymore. Think about the most valuable things in life. A tree that gives shade has value because it stood consistently through seasons, through storms, through winters and summers. It didn't grow overnight. It grew slowly, consistently, until one day it became unshakable. That's how your life works. That's how your success works. You cannot become strong, respected, or powerful in one day. But when you keep showing up day after day, your roots grow deeper, your influence grows stronger, and your value multiplies. Let me give you a simple example from daily life. Imagine going to the gym. If you go once and lift heavy weights, you'll feel strong for a day, maybe sore the next day, but nothing in your body really changes. But if you go every day or every week, consistently, over time, your body transforms. It's not the one-time effort that changes you. It's the repeated effort. The same is true in relationships, careers, and personal growth. Consistency is what builds results. Now think about this. Would you trust a doctor who only studied medicine for 1 week? Would you hire a worker who only shows up when they feel like it? Would you depend on a bridge that was only built halfway? Of course not. Value is built on dependability. People, opportunities, and success respond to those who can be counted on. If you want to become valuable, you must become dependable, and dependability comes from consistency. One of the biggest traps in life is wanting quick results. We live in a world of instant gratification, instant likes, instant replies, instant entertainment. But nothing truly valuable comes instantly. Diamonds take pressure and time. Gold takes refining. Muscles take training. Success takes consistency. The people who fail are not the ones who lack talent, but the ones who quit too early. The ones who gave up after 3 attempts when greatness required 30. Here's the truth. Your dreams don't need you to be perfect. They just need you to be consistent. You don't have to do everything at once, but you do have to keep moving forward. Every small step, every repeated effort, every day of showing up, it all compounds. Like drops of water filling a jar, one drop doesn't look like much, but keep pouring and eventually the jar overflows. That's the power of consistency. Think about learning a new skill. Maybe it's learning a language. If you study for 10 hours in one day and then quit for a month, you will forget most of it. But if you study for 20 minutes every day, consistently, by the end of the year, you will speak fluently. Life rewards consistency more than intensity, because intensity fades, but consistency builds. Consistency also builds trust. People trust those who are steady. If you are the kind of person who always delivers, who always keeps their word, who always shows up, people begin to value you more. They know they can count on you. And when people know they can count on you, doors open, opportunities come, respect grows. Consistency is not just about discipline. It's about becoming valuable in the eyes of the world. But let's be honest, consistency is not easy. It means doing the work when you don't feel like it. It means waking up early when your bed feels comfortable. It means choosing growth when distraction looks tempting. It means showing up on days when motivation is nowhere to be found. Motivation is a feeling, but consistency is a decision. And decisions build destiny. Think of water dripping on a rock. One drop of water is weak, but when it falls in the same spot again and again, over time it cuts through stone. That's what consistency does. It makes the impossible possible. It turns weakness into strength. It shapes destiny. Every time you show up, you are casting votes for the kind of person you are becoming. If you consistently choose health, you become healthier. If you consistently choose learning, you become wiser. If you consistently choose discipline, you become stronger. Who you are is not decided by what you do once, but by what you do repeatedly. And here's the beauty of it. Consistency creates momentum. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. What was once hard becomes natural. What was once heavy becomes light. What once scared you becomes familiar. At first, consistency feels like struggle. Over time, consistency feels like power. So ask yourself, are you living with consistency or are you living with excuses? Are you showing up daily for your dreams or only when it's convenient? Because the world doesn't pay for what you start, it pays for what you finish. And finishing requires consistency. From this moment forward, make a promise to yourself not to be perfect, not to have it all figured out, but to be consistent, to keep showing up, to keep building, to keep working even when it's slow, even when it's tough, even when no one claps for you. Because consistency is not glamorous, but it is powerful. And one day, the results of your consistency will speak louder than any words ever could. Consistency builds value. And when you build value, you build a life that no one can take away from you. Saying no is one of the most powerful skills you will ever learn, yet it's also one of the hardest. Many of us live exhausted, drained, overwhelmed, not because life gave us too much, but because we kept saying yes to things that didn't serve us. Every time you say yes to something meaningless, you are saying no to your own growth. Every time you agree out of guilt, fear, or pressure, you rob yourself of energy, focus, and peace. Learning to say no is not selfish. It is survival. It is self-respect in action. Think about this. Your life is like a suitcase. It can only hold so much. If you keep packing it with clothes you don't wear, things you don't need, and junk you don't value, there will be no space left for the things that actually matter. That's what happens when you keep saying yes to everything. You carry unnecessary weight, you walk around tired, and when an opportunity for something better comes, there's no room left to receive it. You cannot carry greatness if your life is already filled with distractions. Many people struggle with saying no because they are afraid of disappointing others. But let me tell you this, if you keep living to please everyone, you will end up pleasing no one, not even yourself. You will say yes to parties you don't want to attend, yes to jobs that drain your soul, yes to relationships that hurt you, yes to responsibilities that are not yours to carry. And slowly you will lose yourself. You will wake up one day wondering why you feel empty. And the answer will be simple, because you never learned the courage to say no. Let me give you a real life example. Imagine someone trying to save money. They earn a good salary, but every time friends invite them out, they say yes. Every time there's a sale, they say yes. Every time someone asks for a loan they can't afford, they say yes. At the end of the month, their account is empty, not because they didn't earn enough, but because they didn't know how to say no. Now apply this to your life. Your energy, your time, your peace, they are like money. If you don't protect them, they will be wasted on things that give you nothing in return. Saying no is about alignment. When you say no to what doesn't serve you, you are saying yes to what does. When you say no to drama, you say yes to peace. When you say no to procrastination, you say yes to progress. When you say no to toxic people, you say yes to growth. Every no is a hidden yes. Every rejection of the wrong thing is protection of the right thing. But saying no takes strength. It means you might upset people. It means some will misunderstand you. It means you will no longer be available for everyone. And that is perfectly okay. Because your life is not a public service. Your energy is not a free buffet. You are not here to carry everyone else's load at the expense of your own. Saying no doesn't make you unkind. It makes you wise. Think about the most successful people in the world. They are not the ones who do everything. They are the ones who focus on what matters. They say no to distractions, no to wasted time, no to anything that doesn't align with their vision. That's how they have energy left for greatness. Your success will not just come from what you say yes to. It will come from what you have the courage to say no to. Let's make it practical. Imagine your day as a jar, and every yes is a stone you put inside. If you keep saying yes to everyone, soon the jar is full of small stones, unimportant, meaningless, heavy. Then when something big and meaningful comes along, a dream, a chance, a goal, you have no space left to put it in. The only way to make room for greatness is to remove the small stones and stop putting them in. And that means saying no. You see, boundaries are built with the bricks of no. Every time you say no to what drains you, you build a wall that protects your focus, your health, and your destiny. Without those boundaries, people will keep taking, life will keep crowding, and you will keep sinking. But once you draw the line, once you stand firm, once you start saying no to what doesn't serve you, everything changes. You feel lighter. You think clearer. You move stronger. Daily life proves this truth. If you eat junk food every time it's offered, your health will collapse. If you buy every item you see, your finances will collapse. If you give time to every invitation, your schedule will collapse. But if you start saying no, your health improves, your bank account grows, your peace returns. The power of no is the power of protection. So let me ask you, what do you need to say no to today? Maybe it's negative conversations. Maybe it's endless scrolling on your phone. Maybe it's people who don't respect your time. Maybe it's the habit of doubting yourself every time you want to try something new. Whatever it is, understand this. Your future depends on your ability to say no. When you learn to say no to what doesn't serve you, you unlock the space to say yes to your real purpose. You create room for clarity. You give yourself permission to grow. You finally step out of the prison of people pleasing and into the freedom of self-respect. And the moment you master this, life changes. Because no is not rejection. It is redirection. It's your way of telling the world, my energy, my time, and my destiny are too valuable to be wasted. And when you start living that way, your life begins to rise. Life without vision is like driving a car with no destination. You might keep moving, the wheels might keep turning, the engine might keep running, but you're not really going anywhere. Vision is what gives direction to your life. Vision is what tells you where to aim, what to build, and what to sacrifice for. Without vision, life becomes routine, repetitive, and meaningless. With vision, life becomes purposeful, powerful and extraordinary. Think about it. Every building you see started as a vision in someone's mind. Every invention you use, from the phone in your hand to the electricity in your home, began as a vision. Before it was real, it was imagined. Before it was built, it was planned. Vision always comes first, reality follows after. That means if you cannot see your future in your mind, you will never hold it in your hands. The problem is, many people live without vision. They wake up, go to work, come home, eat, sleep, and repeat. Day after day, year after year, they are alive, but not truly living. They are busy building. They are moving, but not progressing. And when you ask them, what do you want from life? They shrug, they hesitate, they have no clear answer. That is the danger of living without vision. Without vision, you waste time, you waste energy, and you waste potential. Now imagine a different picture. Imagine a student who sees themselves graduating with honors, building a career, and creating a life of impact. That vision becomes their fuel. While others waste time, they focus. While others party every night, they study. While others drift, they plan. The vision in their mind pulls them forward when motivation fails. That's the power of vision. It gives you something bigger than your feelings, something stronger than your excuses. Daily life shows us this truth again and again. When someone wants to lose weight, they don't just look at a treadmill, they look at the picture of the healthy body they want. When someone wants to buy a house, they don't just look at bills, they look at the image of the home they dream of. Vision creates discipline. Vision creates hunger. Vision creates perseverance. Because when you know where you're going, the sacrifices no longer feel like losses, they feel like investments. But vision must be clear. If you say, I just want to be successful, that's too vague. Success means different things to different people. Your vision must be specific. Do you want to start a business? Do you want to be financially free? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to build a family of love and strength? Be clear, because clarity is power. A blurry vision produces blurry results. A sharp vision produces sharp results. Think about a camera. When it's out of focus, the picture is useless. But once the lens sharpens, everything becomes clear. Your life is the same. Once your vision is sharpened, your choices become easier. You stop wasting time on what doesn't align. You stop chasing things that don't matter. You start living intentionally, making decisions that bring you closer to your destination. Vision also gives you resilience. When life knocks you down, when challenges come, when people doubt you, vision is what keeps you standing. A person without vision gives up easily, but a person with vision keeps fighting because they see beyond the pain, beyond the struggle, beyond the temporary setback. They see the bigger picture. They see the finish line before the race even ends. Let me give you another example. A builder doesn't cry every time a brick falls. Why? Because they see the blueprint of the finished building. They know one brick falling doesn't cancel the entire project. Your vision is your blueprint. Without it, every small failure feels like the end. But with it, every failure feels like a step forward. And here's the truth. Vision is not just for the big dreamers. Vision is for everyone. You may not want to be a millionaire. You may not want to be famous, but you must still have a vision for your life, a vision for your health, a vision for your relationships, a vision for your peace. Because if you don't create one, life will create one for you, and it may not be the life you want. Creating a vision doesn't mean you know every detail. You don't need to know every step. You just need to know the destination. The details will come as you move. Think about driving at night. Your headlights only show a small part of the road, but as you keep moving forward, more of the road becomes visible. That's how vision works. You don't need to see everything. You just need to start moving toward what you see. So ask yourself, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years? 10 years. Who do you want to become? What do you want to achieve? What legacy do you want to leave? Well, speak it out. See it clearly, and then build your daily actions around it. Because vision without action is just a dream. But vision with action is destiny in the making. From today onward, don't live by accident, live by design. Don't let life push you randomly. Steer it with intention. Don't just exist, create. Build a vision so strong that it wakes you up in the morning with fire. Build a vision so powerful that it pulls you through the hardest nights. Build a vision so clear that it makes you unstoppable. Because once you create a vision for your life, you no longer drift, you drive, you no longer stumble, you stride, you no longer live small, you live with purpose. And that right there is the difference between a life wasted and a life well lived.